What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Want to give my post-fight thoughts. Nicholas Walters versus Miguel Marriaga, and I really enjoyed this fight, man. This, to me, especially in the early rounds, it was a high-speed chess match, and the thing I like about it is it had a good backstory. And I told you guys that on my sleeper list. If you guys checked it out, if not, oh well. And Nicholas Walters lost in the Olympic qualifier to the same guy he just defeated. Congrats, he won the decision, a unanimous decision. I thought that was the right decision. Clearly, he won the particular fight. Letterman's scorecard was tripping, though. I thought Marriaga did really good in round 4, and he was catching Nicholas Walters with the right. And the big downside, I'm not trying to break down. I give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Nicholas Walters, he looked very good, and he made the necessary adjustments. The only thing that I really seen as a critique for him going in the as you step up and keep fighting more and more guys is he keeps his hand very low. And in the 4th round was Mariaga's best round, and Marriaga didn't win many rounds, but he clearly won that one, and Letterman didn't give him that round. But he was sinking nasty right hands because Nicholas Walters, his hand was just too low, and he was getting caught with some Marquez style right hands, and it wasn't a good look. But the good side is Nicholas Walters made the adjustment, and he didn't keep getting caught throughout the duration of the fight. And the thing, I would definitely watch Miguel Marriaga again. There's guys he could beat. I would even like, if Nonito Donaire wants to fight at featherweight again, a fight like that to see how he does. I think he has some power. The thing is that I noticed with Marriaga is he reaches a bit, and he was allowing Nicholas Walters to beat up on his body. So he was one-dimensional in that sense. Like his plan A wasn't working. It was working in spots, and then as he started letting Nicholas Walters absolutely destroy his body, which was a great veteran move from Nicholas Walters, because I think it paid dividends later. And Marriaga's tough because most people wouldn't have been able to take those body shots and then at least keep trying. And it looked like Marriaga, because they had the old grudge, he was at least trying. I will give him that. But it was a very dominant performance by Nicholas Walters, and I think he's the real deal. The other thing I'm disappointed is he missed weight, because had he made weight, he would have kept his title, and this would really set up a Vasyl Lomachenko mega fight at featherweight to see who's in it for featherweight supremacy. Now he lost his title on some bullshit on the scale because he couldn't make weight, but that would have made his performance even more dazzling and spectacular had he been a champion still after that type of performance. But it was a good fight, and like I said, it was a very strategic fight. But early on, especially, they were throwing bad intentions. It looked like they carried on a grudge from the amateurs when they fought. Both guys had something to prove. But overall, I think Nicholas Walters made more adjustments, and he started pulling away, separation, not getting caught with the right as much. He slowed down Marriaga's tempo by just absolutely destroying his body. Like I said, props to Marriaga. He must have been in hell of shape, great shape or something, because he was getting punished to the body, and he still kept trying. And I know that them body shots were hurting. You can hear them. They were thudding body shots. Nicholas Walters, the Axeman, he was chopping down the tree, and he looked real good. So if he wants to fight Vasyl Lomachenko next, great fight. It's going to be a tough fight. Gary Russell Jr., that's a fight I would love to see. That's another champion if you want to go after the WBC belt that Gary Russell Jr. has. I would love a fight like that. So me, I like when a guy, I don't like just seeing a one-dimensional. Like Nicholas Walters, we all knew he had power. So in both of the HBO fights, the Felix Verdejo fight and also Nicholas Walters, some people will complain like, oh, they didn't pile it on and go for the kill or whatever. But some people, I guarantee you couldn't have fighters, because your fighters would have like 1 to 2 year careers if they fought how you wanted them to fight, or how you say in the comment section that you want them to fight. So I think it's good for Felix Verdejo. Yes, knockouts and sensational KOs are always great and eye candy, but I think it was good for their individual careers, both Verdejo and also Nicholas Walters, that they went the distance, because it shows that they're not just boxer punchers. They're not just relying on the power, that they can they have the endurance, they have the mindset. Because I'm telling you, some guys, like a person that comes to mind is Ruslan Provatnikov. time and time again, if his power is not doing the trick enough and breaking you down and you're not mentally folding, then it seems like he kind of loses it and doesn't really have an alternate plan. So it's good to see the guys like Verdejo, very young, Nicholas Walters, still a young new champion, former champion since he lost on the scale. It's good to see him go the distance to show that for the stretch of 10, 12 rounds, they can keep up with the game plan. They can make adjustments, not get caught with anything silly, and it is good for their careers. Yes, I would have liked to knock down in either fights, and I honestly thought I would see a knockout in one of the HBO fights. However, it didn't play out like that, and you can't overly critique. There's people that are getting knocked out and embarrassed by underdogs and stuff like that. This was a good fight with Marriaga. It's a guy who beat him in the amateurs. So sometimes when people have wins over you, they kind of have that. They have your soul, and they always have that bragging rights. Like Lennox Lewis beat Riddick Bowe in the amateurs, and you know what I'm saying. Sometimes that's a psychological advantage. So I think Nicholas Walters, he did a good job of conquering his demon and proving like, man, I've come a long way since the amateurs, and he showed that separation. Because some people, guys, they remember sparring. Oh, I got the best of this guy years ago in sparring. That doesn't mean anything depending on how well you're schooled and how you evolve as a fighter and how you grow in your experience. And I think ultimately Nicholas Walters just had better pro level experience fighting the Nonito Donairs, Vic Darchinyan's champions, former champions, those type of opponents. And it showed tonight. Marriaga just wasn't. He should have maybe took some more pro fights like a Jesus Cuellar or somebody like that. And that's actually a good fight. And then maybe fought Nicholas Walters down the road. So moving on, Nicholas Walters looked good, man. His body work, his jab was sensational, sometimes doubling, tripling the jab. I mean, you can't really ask for more. The only thing you could have asked for more was for him to be stupid, take gambles, and press a knockout against a guy with a 90% KO ratio that beat you in the amateurs. And in round 4, I think I said it was catching you with rights. So, I mean, to ask a knockout when you're winning like that and you're just tattooing his body and stuff is foolish. And like I said, if a lot of you guys were trainers and you trained your fighters with the same information that you put in the comments, your fighters would be done like 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. They wouldn't have a shelf life because it's boxing. You got to secure the W. If the knockout's there, like you never force a knockout, period. That's like one of the early things they teach you in boxing. Never force a knockout, because when you're trying to and you're forcing the knockout, that's when people get caught. Look at Pacquiao Marquez. That's like one of history's greatest rivalries. Marquez had never even knocked down Pacquiao until that 4th fight, let alone knock him out cold, and he needed smelling salts to wake him up. You know what I mean? And that was because he got a little bit over aggressive. Marquez had his feints down and his timing down, and he was backed up against the wall. He was hurt, his nose was bleeding, and it was do or die. And having that type of animal cornered in the alley, that's when they're most dangerous. And you go in for the kill and you go do it the wrong way, then you end up getting stretched and ruining all the hard work that you put in for the last 10 rounds because you did something silly. So I think Nicholas Walters is a beast, and he did what he was supposed to do. Like I said, the only thing he could have did is press even more for a knockout, which I think he was going for the knockout. It's just his dude was tough. Let me know what you guys think. Nicholas Walters, he looked good to me. Make the Vasyl Lomachenko fight. That's really what I want to see. If not, Gary Russell Jr. I don't want to see him in there with like I think he'll kill Jesus Cuellar, because Jesus Cuellar was getting outboxed by Vic Darchinyan earlier in that fight just recently on PBC before the knockout. And Vic Darchinyan was better in the small weight divisions, and he was shop worn. He had been stopped by Walters and by Donaire twice. So I think Nicholas Walters would kill Jesus Cuellar. I mean, he's been in there with some punchers, and it looks like his chin is pretty solid. He's been in there with Nonito Donaire, who's faster, more athletic, and was a better champion in terms of the longevity. Donaire was a champion like 11 years versus Cuellar is like a newer champion. So I personally want to see Nicholas Walters in there with other beasts, other champions, things like that, unless he just needs a tune-up or whatever. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.